in English learning is writing skills. Do you all agree with me? In this video, I have shared a few tips on how to develop writing skills. Come on, let's dive in. Now, I want to see how many of you are committed towards that decision. Do you understand? Commitment? Yeah, the word commitment. I want to know how many of you are committed towards that decision. Commitment is a very big word, my friends. It's a very big word. It's a very responsible word. So, whoever is committed, I want you to look at me through the camera, look into my eyes, and I think Guruji or Venugopal sir, whoever has got the rights, they're going to unmute everybody and I want to listen. Ma'am, I am committed to my decision.
To my decision, ma'am.
I am committed
to my decision.
to my decision, ma'am.
Committed to my
I am
decision.
committed to my decision, ma'am.
Committed, ma'am.
Committed to my decision, ma'am.
Mantra.
I am committed to my decision, ma'am.
And we were here. We were trying to understand what is analytical interpretation and writing skills. Okay, we will understand about analytical interpretation a little later. Now we will get into writing skills. Okay, now once Albert Einstein, the famous scientist, he said, if you cannot explain it to a 6-year-old, you will not understand it yourself. Whatever idea you have in your head, whatever you have written, or whatever you want to speak, if you cannot explain it to a 6-year-old, you will not understand it yourself. Because psychology says we all have a 6-year-old child inside our head. So whatever we are trying to make the child understand, only if we have understood it well, we can make the child understand, right? So we will go by that saying. We will understand how we can make it simple and precise. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give you some tips to develop your writing skills. You can start writing in your books. Yeah. Open your books and start writing it, because if you just listen to me, you will forget about it. Write it down. What are some of the useful tips to develop your writing skills? If you want to write anything, it can be as simple as an essay. Many of you here are students, right? So you would want to write an essay in your exam, or you would want to write a paragraph about something. So even if you want to write anything, it's not in particular a book or story or an essay or something in particular. It is in general. The first thing is you have to be clear about what you want to write. For that, you need to think about a title, isn't it? You have to understand, what might be the title about what I'm going to write. So if it is about the country, then yes, you have to be clear. You have to deduce what your topic is. Or if the topic is already given to you, then you should have a clear idea about what am I going to write. Because every title or every topic will be very huge. So you have to concise it. You have to make sure, like, what is it that you are going to write about. Okay. So the first thing is be clear about what you want to write. And once you're clear, start explaining mentally to yourself. Okay. Start thinking inside, like, okay, I think these are the points I can cover. If it's about country, it's a very vast topic. Maybe I'm going to take only about the present era, the politics which is going on, and how a country is being attacked from various places. I'm just giving you an example. So you have to mentally prepare and mentally explain to yourself about the topic, what you're going to write. All right. Then you create an outline. This is very essential. You can put down the outline. Okay, just have a draft. You can start. Like, how you want to start? You want to talk something about the country first, and you want to give some quotations in the beginning. Then you have to plan, like, what is the body of your essay, what is the body of your writing going to be, what are the points you're going to put. So start creating an outline to it. It's like a draft. So whatever mentally you have thought about it, create an outline about it. Okay, and how the ending has to be. Again, when you're writing something, the introduction part and the conclusion part, these two paragraphs are very much essential. You have to do it. So introduction and conclusion, it's a must. And the body, how you're going to plan in a logical way, in a structured way, you have to first think about it and prepare an outline, or you can call it as a draft. Okay, then after you start doing all this, the first thing is, of course, when you write something, either it is going to be presented in the to the examiner if you're writing in the exam, or if you're just writing it for the sake of writing, or if you want to publish it or something, start thinking from the reader's point of view. If people read whatever I'm writing, so what they might think about it, what they might find interesting in my writing. So let me make it interesting by thinking what the reader might like, or might like to see in what in my writing. So start thinking from the reader's perspective. So put yourself in the reader's shoes. As a reader, when you read a story, when you read an article, when you read a book, what is it that entices you? What is it that attracts you? Is it the vocabulary, or is it the idea behind the story, or is it the way it is presented? Very natural way, very simple way, or is it, really complicated? The language is very complex and you find it difficult to understand. You have to get back to the dictionary every time. What is it that attracts you towards reading? So you have to keep that in mind and start thinking how the reader might perceive it. So put yourself in the reader's shoes and analyze it. Okay. Then keep it simple and short. So the abbreviation is KISS. Keep it simple and short. Always let it not be long, complex sentences. People sometimes do a show off, like putting very complex words and complex sentences, keeping lengthy sentences. But readers always love to read simple words, simple concepts written in a very short, precise way. Okay, keep it short and keep it simple. Do not elaborate too much on it. Sometimes we are over analyzing. We think the readers cannot understand everything, and we keep giving lot of content in that particular context. Okay, so don't try to overwrite, or don't try to underwrite as well. Underwrite matlab, like बहुत ज्यादा है मेरे मन में लिखने के लिए, लेकिन मैं इतना ही लिखूंगी, बाकी सब समझेंगे लोग, तो समझेंगे पढ़ते पढ़ते, ऐसा भी नहीं है। और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि मैं इतना ज्यादा लिखूंगी ताकि वो रीडर्स ना पढ़ते पढ़ते बोर हो जाएंगे, सो जाएंगे. So it should not be overwriting nor underwriting. Okay, you have to keep a balance in between. Keep it simple and short. Budget your time. That's a powerful word. You have to budget your time. For example, you are writing an essay in your exam. You can't go on writing because you know so much about the topic. You know so many things about our country, and the topic is given to you. You cannot continue writing, so that you miss out on all the other questions and you might lose marks, right? So it's very important to budget your time. You have to keep a tab on your time. Even otherwise, if you're writing an article or a story, I want to complete this article by the end of this week. So I have another 4 more days to go. I'm going to complete this article within 4 days. Or if I'm planning to write a book, if I'm planning to write a story, you should have that stipulated time. I'm going to start today, or I'm going to start tomorrow, and maybe after 1 month, I'm going to complete it. Okay. So budget your time. You can't keep going on and on. Whether it's an essay in an exam or a story you want to write on your own, you have to have a time limit, so that within that time you have to complete it, and you will start working towards it. You will get serious about it. Okay. Yes, as I told you earlier, write, rewrite, then prepare a draft and correct the mistakes. You might have made mistakes. So when you make a draft out of it, you will understand where all you have gone wrong. So start correcting those mistakes and rewrite it and edit it. You will have a better version or when compared to the original draft. Okay, you have to edit it. Excuse me. All right. So, and yet again, I would like to stress upon don't worry too much about grammar. Do not worry. Can I start the sentence with a conjunction? Or can I put prepositions here? Or is it okay if I'm using adverb instead of adjective? Don't think too much about grammar. Okay. So if you start analyzing too much about it, you will never continue writing. You will get stuck and you will be wherever you were maybe 1 week back. You're still there thinking about grammar. So really don't worry too much about grammar. Be a natural. Get on with writing and it will automatically come to you. Yes, and moving on to the next step, conversational language can also be used. So many times, you might have read in many books, it is very similar to the way we converse. So you can put a lot of conversations also in your writing. It need not be very dramatic and always in the passive voice or always in indirect voice. It can also be in direct voice. You can put conversations just like we have in our real life. You can put conversations also in writing. So you can utilize all these tips and start developing on that. Okay, if at all you get stuck in between, like I do not know how to convert this direct to indirect voice or active to passive voice, forget about it and just state as and how it is, direct conversations. Okay, and yeah, use better words and vocabulary. When I say so, what do I mean from that? When you want to say like he was running very fast, you can use the word sprinted. He sprinted, like running very fast is sprinted. Or she was very beautiful, you can use it she was gorgeous. Yeah. Or you can use better words and vocabulary rather than using the same words. It looks much more beautiful. Or if you want to define or describe a place as very beautiful, then you can say exotic. The place was exotic, the place was serene. So you can start using better words from the dictionary. And you want to say maybe it was very funny, I found the entire incident very funny, you can say it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So rather than using funny, you can use hilarious. I'm just giving you some examples how you can better your vocabulary. You can make use of certain words like that, make a list of it, and while you write it will help you. You can improvise your vocabulary. Before we come to the conclude, a lot of practice is required. You need to practice and practice a lot before you come to the conclusion. Maybe you have to write many times, or it's always good to record. Maybe you have so many thoughts, you can record, create an audiobook as we spoke yesterday, create an audiobook, listen to those recordings, and you can start writing. You need not put word to word conversations of what you have written. All those filler words you need not use. Like there are so many filler words. While you speak, you will be doing it in a different way. You can listen to all of that and start writing, isn't it? So that's the best way. Record whatever thoughts you have in your mind and start putting down on paper. Start writing whatever, listening to yourself, to your recorded audiobooks, and keep practicing. How you can get better every time you record, you still keep getting better. So practice, practice, practice. That is the mantra for anything, to improve your English skills, to improve your speaking skills, to improve your writing skills. Practice is the mantra. Okay, do not forget to do that. And don't worry too much about what will people think. Like I have presented my opinion. What will others think about it? Will they agree with me, or will they disagree with me, or will they judge me? Do not worry too much about it. As long as you have supported your arguments, you have supported your ideas in your story, in your writing, be rest assured, okay, that people will take it. Do not worry too much about what will people think. It's your writing, your ideas, and you have done it in a very convincing way. Okay, because you have put in a lot of efforts. You have practiced a lot. So all those efforts will not go in vain. And finally, conclude with a summary. Okay, conclude it with a summary. That's very, very important. Introduction and summary.